Alright, we back on game, and let me say this right now. You know what? Nah, we're not starting this video like this. We're not. You know what? Because y'all been asking me for a minute to do the original intro. That's what y'all been asking for, alright? But y'all know how I feel about that, given the fact that, people start taking this shit. And then YouTube went on to make a YouTube Nation and all these millions of followers and just shafted me out of all that shit. But you know what? I'm gonna throw y'all a bone this week, alright? How about this? YouTube Nation, Main Event TV, a.k.a. Me TV, a.k.a. Tony Snark, a.k.a. the Iron Pan that will go upside your head if you don't know how to act. And you know what's up? Guess what's going on this week? People don't know how to act. So I guess we should get started now, shall we? Let's start with one Randy Pitchford. How about that? Randy, why you gotta be so Randy all the time, Randy? I'm just wondering this. So how about this? Randy Pitchford tries to take a shot at Call of Duty. You know, Randy Pitchford, you should be the last person to try to take shots, especially at a successful, and I'm going to say that, successful franchise like Call of Duty. That's what you're doing right now. You're trying to be a smartass, all right? Especially after what you did with Aliens Colonial Marines. We're never going to forget that. But also, what you've done with your recent game. And that's when gamers decide to get at you as well. Oh, my chest. He got him. Oh, this is 45, sir. You ain't gonna go back from that. There's no come back from that. It's over. You done. Fam, pack it up. Delete your account. Deactivate. Whatever. It's over, Randy Pitchford. Damn. But, of course, Randy tried to come back. And like I said, he wasn't coming back from that. And he decided to throw a tantrum like a baby. Not only did he get upset at the guy, but then try to get personal with him. And then when fans call him on it, he's like, fuck all of you people. He literally says that. And Randy, as you can see, Randy was just like, gotcha, bitch, you thought. That's what he was going to go with. He was like, I was going to block you. He was like, but then I read your profile, and you're just a sad, human being and need more help and all this. It's like, bruh, you tried to go way too far for a person who was just saying that your game was trash. You went way too far. And then, like I said, the person comes along and is like, why do you have to get personal with this guy? And he was like, well, fuck you, and, we love our fans. What fans? You can't even sell the game. They were trying to give the game away, Battleborn, at conventions, and, all the deals, everything, full package. People still wouldn't take it. Nobody cares about Battleborn. That's what he's not understanding. I don't understand how you can sit here and get that personal with somebody that says your game is trash. Nobody likes the game. Even if Overwatch didn't come out, because as you know, Overwatch is the big thing, and that's what, set us back. At least that's what they say. No game sets you back, alright, unless you just didn't have quality in your game. It's that simple. If a game gets mass appeal and popular, and your game is there, and your game is good, guess what? You're still going to find at least a cult of people, a cult of fans who will still carry you. You don't even have that. So I'm not trying to hear that this game is popular, and given everything, all the stunts that you've pulled as of late, doing those songs, and like I said, we're never going to forget Aliens Colonial Marines. We're never going to forget what happened with that. Never. Every time someone tries to bring up Borderlands, I'm going to say Aliens Colonial Marines. Never going to forget that. Ever. Alright? So as far as I'm concerned, this guy just needs to calm the fuck down. He does. But once again, we are seeing developers act up. Unprofessionally. I play like this. I don't care if a fan says, your content is trash. Alright? Your content's trash. That's your opinion. I'm not going to get upset over that. I'll say, okay, well, if anything, if you think it's trash, you can either do two things. You can either give me so I'll say three things. How about that? You can give me better constructive criticism other than just blatantly blanketing it. Or you can either make some content yourself, alright? And then I'll be the audience, and then I can sit back from the sidelines and say, you're trash, blah, blah, blah. Or you can say, hey, at least you took the time out to, even acknowledge that the game was there and blah, blah, blah. Thank you for your time. This is what you call being professional, okay? Now, mind you, in this, I don't even want to call this a professional. Like I said, I'm just a guy on video just talking. That's all I am right now, all right, and giving my opinions. But the fact is, you cannot just go out as a professional, and just be like, fuck you. And we've seen this type of behavior from developers for a number of years now. Unprofessional behavior, regardless what is being said to them. I don't understand it whatsoever. Maybe it's not for me to understand. Maybe it's not. I don't know. But if developers are doing this, then there's no, like I said before, I can understand now why gamers do this, the community does this, because it just trickles down. It's a trickle-down effect. If the developers are acting immature, then why the hell should the gamers act mature, right? That's what you're going to say. It's a bad example. And he should be ashamed of himself. But of course he's not, because he thinks he's sitting, hiding, on his throne or on his horse, and, he made a game, and he's proud of his game. I understand he's proud of his game, but you also have to understand that, once again, it's just a game. Why you have to be so mad? I don't get it. But let's move on. Since we're talking about Call of Duty, and I need to stress this, and I'm hoping Philly fans are listening, I need to stress this. Torrey Smith has seen the new Call of Duty and says, it's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. That's what he says. Now, first off, you can't take, and this is NFL wide receiver Torrey Smith, you cannot take his word for this game, for Call of Duty. You want to know why? Because he's been in the pocket with Activision before. That's right. For those who don't know, Activision hosted a Call of Duty event for the Baltimore Ravens in 2013 and had Torrey Smith go up against Ray Rice. That's right. So he's buddy-buddy with these people. And for him to be like, it's crazy. It's crazy. Look. Torrey Smith, do yourself a favor. Shut the fuck up about Call of Duty and get ready to play for the Eagles this season coming up. Because that's what we're worried about. The draft is coming up. It's here in Philly. We got you. Get ready to play. We don't give a shit what you think about fucking Call of Duty. Okay? That's just some advice. Now, with that said, I will put it like this. We have seen that Call of Duty is going back to the World War II era. We've seen some people say, hey, this may bring some hope. Because a lot of people were upset with advanced warfare and whatever warfare you want to call it. No one gave a shit about it, really. All right? No one did. So they're going back to the World War II era. That's fine. If they can pull this off, I'm sure it will do better than what the last one did. And what I mean by that is, even in the last one, their numbers were still successful. You have to understand that people did want that. They wanted the World War II era, so you may see a really big jump in numbers this time around for Call of Duty. So we'll see. All right? Exactly what we'll see. Shall we move on? I want to get back to this SJW stuff. Akibas Beat censorship leads to Tom Lipschultz removing himself from all future games and credits. Yeah. That's a shame. Now, I'll put the link in the info bar so that you can see exactly what was changed. There were little things like, oh, the KKK witches have been changed, the abbreviation has been changed for that. Now, I will put it like this. You cannot tell me that's okay. The censorship, because people are saying, we understand the moves that you made with the censorship. No one's upset. They say they understand. They're being very understanding about what's going on with the localization. But they're also saying this really wasn't called for. It wasn't called for. And now that he's deciding to quit, people don't want him to quit. The fans don't want him to quit on the forums. They say because they need him to fight the good fight. It goes to show you that this censorship shit, and thing is, people don't realize that we've always had censorship when it came to localization. We did. I mean, back in the day, like I said, Thrill Kill, censored completely. We didn't even have it here. Games like D, I believe it was D2, that was censored because of this, the scene where it goes down the woman's mouth, and it looked like phallic going down her mouth. They censored that, from the Japan version. You have to understand, we've always had censorship, but it's never been this loud, this in your face, this, you better censor it or else. It was never that. It was like, look, this is, our company standards when it comes to, the ratings board. This has to be censored. And I'm sure, in those meetings, developers were upset because it's their creation. You know what I mean? But they bit the bullet and they still put it out there. But it wasn't so in your face. It wasn't so, this game is in development. Oh, well, you need to do this, and this in your development to censor it. If not, if it's not up to PC standards, then we're going to just, deem you whatever label they want to deem you. Racist, misogynist, whatever the case may be. You know what I mean? That's what they do. And they scare the shit out of developers, and the developers are creatively being stifled because of it. It's a problem. It is. And I don't understand anyway why you're listening to these type of people who tell you what you need to censor. We have seen some of these games as of late that haven't, they've taken the risk and just thrown it out there and have been good. And that's what I want to talk about today. I want to talk about Persona. That's right. For those who don't know, places like Kotaku are trying to they're trying their hardest to slander Persona. That's right. And you've got to be kidding me because, oh, well, you know, it's so taboo and all this stuff. It doesn't fit our needs. You know what? If you haven't realized, in the previous couple of months, the Japanese market when it comes to their games have been booming. I mean, seriously, they have been putting out fucking quality and bring them to the U.S. or to the NA in general and, you know, over in the EU as well, and people have loved them and have applauded them. But leave it to places like Kotaku and Polygon and all those to try and destroy them. But I do find it funny that there are some things, it's just like they're really, the developers are like, fuck you. They are. Because it's great to see that, look, and I understand it's weird, and Persona's always been weird if you've ever played the Persona series back from the PS1 era, or the PC era, because Persona 1 was great. Persona 2, legendary. But you have to also understand that when it comes to Persona games, like I said, when you're casting stuff, when you are using a Persona and you bring out a phallic, seriously, phallic, just a big, giant penis in front of your friends, it's kind of funny, and you know what? You can't, like, once you see it, it's unseen. You can't see, you know, you can't get away from it because this is the type of thing that's in your face when it comes to, you know, trying to defy censorship. So let's look at that real quick. So as far as I'm concerned, congratulations, Persona. You're going against everything that, you know, all these people are so upset about, and you're selling, and you're doing well, and it goes to show you, you can't listen to those people, listen to your fan base, because that fan base is what's going to carry you. They've been there for years for you, and they're still there for you now. That is loyalty. Customer loyalty, consumer loyalty. You cannot slice it down, you cannot slander it any other way. The fans are there for you. And like I said before, it's always a give and take. This is what you call that bridging the gap. When you have other developers like Randy Pitchford telling you, fuck you, or Cliffy B telling you to suck his dick, you have, you know, other people like, you know, Near Automata and, you know, and was it the Fire Pro Wrestling I saw you last time, thanking everyone, the you know, development team, and now Persona, where it clearly shows that they have a connection with each other and that they're going to support it. Worry about more of the community and what the fans want as opposed to these idiots who are trying to tell you how to make your game and aren't going to buy it anyway. Don't do that. Congratulations, Persona. I'm very happy to see that. Let's move on, shall we? And more good news. That's right. Now we're going to shift over to the fighting game community. That's right. So buckle up. Get ready. I know some of you say, this segment is usually cringe. Yeah, well, guess what? You're going to get a little bit more of that today, okay? Just letting you know. Because the things that happened just not too long ago, even just yesterday, crazy, just crazy. So let's get into this, all right? First, some good news, all right? King of Fighters 14. King of Fighters, all right? Merchandise line has been announced. That's right. Shirts, statues, stuff like that. So for anyone who's a collector of this type of stuff, by all means, have fun with it. And I would say, look forward to it. As far as I'm saying, like, if they got a good Terry Bogard, that's it. If they get a good Terry Bogard shirt, or a Rock Howard shirt, or even a Joe Higashi shirt, I'm going to end up buying it. I know I'm going to, because I love those characters. And I love King of Fighters characters in general. There's some I don't like, fucking K, but there's other people, of course, that I would support. They had an Athena shirt, I would probably buy an Athena shirt. If they have a Leona shirt, I'd probably buy a Leona shirt. You know what I mean? Like, the King of Fighters staff, I should say the roster, is so good and so favored. I've been playing with them for so long over the years that how would I not support that? This is what I mean. This is what being a fan is about. It's not about getting on camera and saying, oh my God, I'm reacting. This is so great. I can't wait. Oh my God, everyone needs to buy it. No. I'm saying, in my opinion, my perspective, you don't have to buy it. But guess what? When I see this stuff and there's something I like, I'm going to buy it. That's simple. Because of the fact that that's how it makes me feel. That's what passion is. Not just endless shilling. And it seems like people haven't deciphered the difference between the two. But, let's move on. Street Fighter V. Street Fighter V. Yeah, here we go. Fucking Capcom. And don't get me started fucking Capcom today. Alright, so Capcom. Let's go. Street Fighter V to get new work costumes for Alex, Chun-Li, and Mika. Okay. Alright. Now, for those who like Street Fighter V, you know, I'm sure you're probably going to get it. You probably get the season pass and all that other stuff. And you're like, yeah, we're getting costumes. But here's the thing. When are they going to fix the fucking game? When are they going to give you everything that everyone has complained about? Even the pros have complained about. They're too busy trying to distract you with bullshit costumes. That's what it is. And you've got to be kidding me. This game isn't fixed yet. Come on. Come on. And I'm saying this from somebody who are supporting people who like the game. If you love the game, if you like the game, those developers should be treating you right. It's that simple. You should be demanding, look, I paid for this game, and I'm getting the season pass, and all this DLC, and you still haven't fixed the game. That's the problem. That's, as a consumer, your right to say, no, this is unacceptable. That's what it is. But it seems like people are so far up their ass, if they don't have their own head up their own ass, then they have their head up Capcom's ass, and not realizing everything's fine. Everything's fine. No, it's not. It's not. Get it fixed. Fix it, Capcom. But let's move on, shall we? Because while I'm talking about the community and trying to support the community, you have other fucking idiots who decide they gotta talk about themselves. You notice every time there's a chance to get on camera or an interview, when I'm talking, what happens? I talk about the community, supporting the community, what needs to change the community, what needs to be fixed, with the game or something. You notice because you want a better experience as a gamer and for the community overall. Right? That's what I do. Well, let's get into this. PG Punk, alright? I'm going to put the link in the info bar from Event Scrubs, alright? He's upset because the fact that the crowd won't boo him when he plays. Yes, this is you know what? This is beyond first world problems at this point. You've got to be telling me, you're kidding me, that you're complaining that people aren't booing you. The community loves you. And you want to be a heel. Again, this is not fucking wrestling. If you want people to hate you, it'll be very easy to hate you. Simply for this comment alone. Stop being a fucking tryhard. There's your fucking hate, alright? And I know people will jump on me and say, what's wrong with you, Event, blah, blah, blah. Guess what that is? That means I just earned my fucking heat. He's sitting here complaining and bitching he don't get heat. Notice that shit? I want them to boo me, but they won't. They love you, so embrace it. The fuck is wrong with you? If you were smart, you'd take, if we're talking wrestling terms here, since you're the face right now, you would be chasing for everything while everyone's trying to stop you, because this is how wrestling goes, okay? And then afterwards, when you feel as though you've gotten to a certain point, then you do the fucking heel turn. You don't get on an interview and say, I wish people would boo me. For a person who took his name from CM Punk, and for a person who wants this shit to be wrestling, you sure as hell don't realize how wrestling works now, do you? I don't understand the self-importance, the ego, the greed. Because that's what it is. Alright? You're thinking about yourself in this case when all these other problems are going on. I don't get it. You have a time, you got airtime to say something that's important, and all it is, I wish people would boo me. Shut the fuck up, nerd. Shut the fuck up. I hate to say that, you fucking nerd. I hate to say that shit. I do. But it's clear. It's very fucking clear. Let's move on. Let's talk about Marvel versus Capcom Infinite. Yeah. Let's have this talk. Now, since we've seen the trailer, and first I didn't see the trailer because I was at the gym, right? So when I saw my phone was blowing up, something crazy. I'm like, what's going on? Check on social media. What happens? They dropped the trailer. Now, I didn't see the trailer at first, all right? I saw a number of people posted screenshots of things saying this is bad, that's bad, what's going on? Sigma's in the game. I'm like, oh, Sigma's in the game. Sigma. We talking Sigma. Okay. I'm alright with that. Then they're like, he's fusing with Ultron. And I'm like, what? But, okay, you need a big boss, matchup. That's fine. And I see all these people getting hype over it. And I was asking, I'm like, so how's the gameplay? And they was like, there's no gameplay, it's just a cinematic trailer. I'm like, so all these people are getting hyped off a fucking cinematic trailer. Let me go watch this fucking trailer. So I'm watching the trailer, and I'm like this. And I see nothing. And I'm just like, this is what people are getting hype about. I don't see it. Okay. Then they drop the collector's edition on you, which is what? $150? $150. All right? But you get the Infinity Gems with it. Motherfucker, you can buy the Infinity Gems. You could have bought them years ago if you wanted to. By yourself. Matter of fact, they get the Infinity Gauntlet, actual replica of it, that you can buy if you wanted to. I'm not trying to hear that all of a sudden people want the Infinity Gems because it's part of the Collector's Edition. Fuck that. If it was very important to you, you'd have bought this shit by now. Stand alone. Don't want to hear that. Okay? But you get these cool figures that attach it. Like, what the fuck does that do? It does nothing. These figures don't mean shit. And I say that due to the fact that, once again, if you wanted these type of figures, you would have bought them as a standalone because, as you know, they make all these type of figures and resin statues all the fucking time. All the time. So, no, I'm not trying to hear that either. Okay? So, they're going to block off, 6 characters? Something like that? And here's the thing, all right? Sigma, who's a core boss in this game, all right? Pivotal to this game, is on DLC. DLC. I'll say it again. D-L-fucking-C. All right, let's get to this, all right? This game comes out in 5, 6 months maybe? Something like that? So you release this trailer, you put Sigma as DLC, or the rest of these characters as DLC, and you're going to sit here and tell me that they're not already on the game. That they're not locked on the disc. Is that what you're telling me? That we have to wait? No. These characters are already done. They're done. So you can't sit here and tell me that this is okay. $150 fucking dollars. Not to mention, I'm sure they're going to try and hit you with a season pass later. So we're probably looking at, $200 for one fucking game. Now, of course, you can buy the standard. You say, well, there's no point that we can just buy the standard, blah, blah, blah. The fact is, Capcom should not be pulling this shit. You're hiding back characters, and a lot of people, here's the thing. A lot of people compare this to what Injustice 2 is doing, because they're locking characters away that's already on the disc, and it's a shame, right? Okay. Here's the thing, though, about that. The characters that are being are being locked on Injustice are actually more characters. You're getting more for your money, actually, at least what it feels like, because most of the stuff that's in the pack of Injustice 2, that's just cosmetic. That don't mean shit. But the actual characters, you're getting more characters as opposed to what Marvel's giving you, or should I say Capcom is giving you, right? But nobody wants to talk about that. Everyone's got their feels all in it. Everybody, instead of, paying attention to the actual, price point and what you're getting for your money as a consumer. A lot of people used to say, well, back in the day, they put these games out flat out, and sometimes you got hidden characters, sometimes you didn't. Because a lot of people are saying, well, can't we just unlock them? Yeah, can't do that. That's a thing of the past these days, But when you say things like that, you also have to understand, back in the day, when they made complete games, we didn't buy the fucking game. We rented the games with our quarters. Now, if you want to talk about back in the day when they started hitting home console units, then that's a different type of story. But also remember, it took them time to start putting out other stuff. For Capcom, it was, okay, we'll keep putting them out, but no one kept buying them all the time. If you remember, there weren't people just first day buying Super Nintendo cartridges every time. Street Fighter 2, Street Fighter Championship Edition, Street Fighter, Turbo. There wasn't nobody doing that day one, no. Because the competition wasn't at home. The competition was still in the arcades. That's what it was. Okay? Remember that. These days, it's different. You're buying the game, $60 up front, depending if you get a collector's edition or not. Then your DLC. Then your your DLC, whether it's characters, costumes, palette swaps, whatever the fucking case may be. All right? And then they keep it going for season after season after season after fucking season, trying to prolong that longevity of the game. But still, none of the fixes. Now, here's the thing as well. Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. We have now seen the gameplay. If you haven't seen the gameplay, I will put the link in the info bar. Please, if you're a Marvel vs. Capcom fan, please watch this video and don't get caught up in all the flashy shit. Because I watched it twice. First time I watched it, just as a general watcher, it was like, oh, that's flashy. That's a nice move. Oh, that's something new. And then I went back and I watched it for the technical aspects. auto combos. Some of you had said that Ultron has was it Iron Man combos. Said that the game looks very plastic. The game almost looks like an app. The game it's still showing the same old combos when it comes to like the Hulk. Some of you said that quick switching costs you nothing at this point. There's a number of things that we've seen. The dragon punch that you do is down punch now. Yeah, Shoryuken down punch. That is one step away from being a smash move. Because remember, I'm a dirty Smash player. I'm nothing but a Smash player, a filthy Smash player. I'm not a Blessed Kun anymore. I'm the filthy Smash player who doesn't really part of FGC. So let me get it straight. Down punch is now Shoryuken as opposed to, up B for Smash for Shoryuken? This is baby's first Marvel vs. Capcom. And what this does is when you're simplifying it this way, you are actually pissing on all the pros who said, look, we're jumping back into this and we're going to rock this shit. You just disrespected them that way, Capcom. This is going to turn out to be just like Street Fighter V. They're going to ride this wave of hype, and it's going to be disappointing when it comes to gameplay. And it seems like today I've seen a number of people tear this shit apart when it comes to the gameplay. It does. And like I said, this is not my opinions when I'm talking about these type of things. These are other people saying this. So the community at large, no, you know what? I won't say at large. Because yesterday, there was a lot of fanboys. But today, people have woken up and said, or should I say awake? I don't want to say, they woke. And said, look, this is what it is. This is bad. This is horrible when it comes to gameplay. Like I said, I will put it in the info bar. Please watch it. But there's more. After people saw Sigma, then fans decide to start making fun of them because it's a combination of Buzz Lightyear and Zurg. I don't know, man. This shit is just cray as far as I'm concerned. That's what it is. And I'll put it like this as well, man. All right? If you're still hyped to play the game, by all means, have fun, play the game. But please understand the technical aspects, especially the mechanics in gaming, on why people feel it's bad. Okay? Like I said, this is baby's first Marvel vs. Capcom. So if you think as though just because it's more simplified, this is going to be easier for you to get into it and actually compete, you have to understand that it's more disrespectful to not learn the way that everyone else learned. They are literally changing this because you're literally saying this is why they changed stuff. It's too hard. I'm sorry, but learning year for years how to do Shoryuken, and here's the thing. They used to, in the arcades, they used to tell you the moves on the plate, the base plate where you play, how to do moves at times. If not, you know what we did? Because we had America Online back in the day. We went to GameFAQs when it was good, and we would download, we would print out and download and print out the moves for the games. You know what I mean? That's how heavy research we did. We would download, print it out, and we would bring it with us. And we sat there with a session, we're like, all right, this is how you do this move, this is how you do this move. Especially, and I'll say this easily, especially when it came to Mortal Kombat. So, doing a Dragon Punch was never hard. For people to simplify that, that's very disrespectful. It is. It's very disrespectful. And the thing is, I'm a charge type player, but I'll play with a Shoto. I don't give a shit. You want to tell me you can't do a Shoryuken? Really? Some people say, they change it differently in BlazBlue as well. But the fact that this game has auto combos, sometimes you don't even have to worry about, losing meter for certain things. I don't know what they're doing. I don't. But like I said, we can have this conversation in the comment section, please, because like I said, I will link the video, so just watch it from a technical aspect. Like I said, watch it twice if you need to, like I did. Watch it for Flash and say, hey, it looks nice, it looks flowing and everything like that. The graphics look good, whatever. Some people feel as though the graphics don't look good. Oh, look at the new moves they're doing and stuff like that. And then sit back, rewind it, and watch it again for the technical aspects. And then it'll change your entire thing, like, what the hell's going on here? We've seen that in, and they're just taking the same models and, and yeah. Some people already started posting the picture. Hawkeye looks exactly like Johnny Cage. I don't know, man. We've seen screenshots, side-by-side screenshots of Bison doing his move as opposed to Ultron doing his move. I don't know. I understand that people, they're playing on your nostalgia. You love these certain characters. And, you grew up with them. I get it. You got the passion for it. But you have to understand what you're getting yourselves into. Like I said, I'm not going to tell you not to buy it. I'm not going to say that. Like I said, if you're really hyped for the game and you're already going to buy it, fine. But please, just be informed on what you're getting yourself into. That's what this is about. Okay? So I don't want to hear anybody, you're just a hater. Blah, blah. No. This is information that you need to know. Okay? That's the difference between someone getting on camera and just hyping it up to the fucking moon. Like I said, shilling the shit out of it. It's okay. Like I said, it's okay to be excited, as opposed to really shilling the shit out of it, you know, for views or whatever the case may be, or being online, on social media or whatever. But the fact is, look at the shit for what it is. Please look at it. And if you feel as though, hey, well, yeah, they'll patch this, they'll make this better. Okay, well then guess what? They're going to patch it, they're going to patch it again, going to patch it again, going to patch it again. You're going to do 1,000 patches, just like you're going through with Street Fighter V now. If you can't see that's a problem, I don't know, man. But let's move on, shall we? Let's talk about the fighting game of the week. For those who do not remember this game, I believe it was back in 1993, I believe? 93? Yeah. For those who don't remember this game was somewhat hilarious. Does it deserve a remake? Not really. Right, it doesn't. But still fun to watch, okay? For those that know what I'm talking about, let's take a look at Blood Warrior. I don't think it deserves a remake, because especially when you have games like Samurai Showdown coming out and stuff like that, you really don't need this remake. I mean, they have a fucking Ninja Turtle in the damn game, pretty much. So it goes to show you, look, the 90s, we made a lot of mistakes in the 90s. We did, but still, overall, it's fun to go back and watch this type of stuff and just like, damn, I remember this. Damn, what was I thinking? You know what I mean? Like, why did we play this game so much? Like, oh, God. But you know what? It's one of those things where, like I said, whatever you can get your hands on at the time, game-wise, that's what you did. It seems like gamers don't do that these days. Like I said, we got games. It's like, oh, we got games. And we would just hoard them. And it was like, okay, nobody's touching my games. Oh, well, you're my best friend, so I guess I'll let you borrow this game. Make sure you bring it back soon. Like, that's how it was. I'm going to come over to your house. You know what I mean? Like, that's what it was. We cherished our games, as opposed to these days, when people play the games, they burn through them so quickly, and then they just toss them. You know, they send them to GameStop to get paid, you know, for, you know, get some credit, get a different game or stuff like that. We never did stuff like that. You know, your game was your game, unless you really hated a game and said, look, can we do a swap? Can I change you for something? And I remember I made one of the dumbest, probably one of the dumbest game swaps. I've never forgotten that for Nintendo. I game swapped Batman for Nintendo for the Punisher for Nintendo. And Batman was fucking awesome, but I swapped it for the Punisher. And I remember afterwards I was like, I had second thoughts. I was like, whoa, like I played the Punisher. I was like, yeah, Punisher wasn't bad, but I want Batman back, you know what I mean? Like, so I remember that. So it's one of those things. Like I said, back then you didn't have that type of stuff. This is before Blockbuster Video came along. You know what I mean? And then you can rent games and try them out first if you didn't like them. You know what I mean? Or whatever. And like I said, it's a huge, you know, the time has changed. So it's, you know, methods have changed. But we've never, ever, you know what I mean, like trade in our games like that. Ever. You know what I mean? So it's really weird to see. You know, or times you can go to Funko Land and you can buy games. Like I said, that you're starting to see just how old school, you know, our setups were. You know, you actually had to go to stores instead of, you know, going online and order stuff. So it was really interesting. You know what I mean? Very interesting. And for those who don't know, Funko Land was big. And that's when, you know, was it Electronics Boutique decided to buy them out. And then Electronics Boutique, you know, turned into GameStop and then they tried to keep it separate, GameStop and Electronics Boutique, and they did that for a reason, because they wanted to make it seem like there was some type of competition. Well, I don't like your prices at, you know, EB Games, I'm going to GameStop. And it's like, guess what? You're still giving them your money. That's the difference. They do it all the time. A lot of channels on cable are owned by the same company. They just have rival channels to make you think it's rivalry, but it's not. They still all get the stuff. So, let's move on, shall we? Let's talk about esports, since we're talking about that fighting stuff. All right, esports. Esports, and this is very interesting. We've got to cover this. Esports will be an Olympic event in the 2022 Asian Games in China. That's right. Esports is now going to be an Olympic event. Now, of course, you got your DOTAs and all that other type of stuff. That's what they're saying, all right? But it'll be an Olympic event. Now, here's the thing. Just the last video I did, we talked about this, and, you know, you saw those comments, oh, well, those League of Legends players are nothing but a bunch of dorks and blah, blah. Guess what? They're getting ready to go into the Olympics. But there's conflicting reports on this type of stuff. So please, just bear with me because I want to talk about this stuff, all right? ESPN reports, okay, that esports could be an Olympic sport by 2020. So by 2020. So the Asian game, you know, the Asian Games in China will have it 2022, but ESPN is predicting it could be by 2020. But there's more, because for those who don't know, Esports Olympic Games are already begun this year for testing when it comes to the Olympics. So 2022, 2020, testing now, 2017. I don't know what to believe at this point. I don't. I think it will happen, but you know how much friction this is going to cause between Olympians and athletes? We saw this not too long ago. Remember, when I was talking about it, was the South by Southwest Games, was it, or whatever? And they had the Call of Duty guys there, and, you know, the snowboarders and stuff like that was like, they don't deserve to be here and get this medal. They haven't earned anything because they're just playing the game. Remember, that's what the athletes were saying. I'm talking about athletes who risk their life, you know, snowboarding downhill and stuff like that and doing stunts. All it takes is one crash to break their neck, and they're done. As opposed to guys sitting in a chair playing video games and pretty much playing for the same medal. So I can understand from the athletic standpoint why they're upset. But if they go into the Olympics, which is going to be even worse, I'm telling you now, when I say worse, I don't mean the Olympics is going to be worse. When they get in there, the tension between Olympic athletes who have trained for 4 years, you know, to get to where they're at, this is going to make them mad. It is. So esports and sports. And what did I tell you about esports? If you're going to be sports and you're going to get all these doors open to where you have these Olympics and all, like I said, I never thought I would see it happen. But to go to the Olympics and actually win an Olympic gold medal, you better be on your best behavior. You better be. Now it's time to. If you're an Olympian, you know what that means? That means now you have to grow up. No ifs, ands, or buts. All right? Says the guy with the hat. Yeah, I know. It's time to grow up. Let's move on, shall we? Because in more esports, and what I mean by growing up, for those who did not see it this week, a pro esports player in Overwatch had an absolute racist tirade that is embarrassing as fuck. It's so embarrassing. And you know what? I'm going to show you it, and I'm going to let you know now that this video can get quite loud. Alright? Hopefully in editing I can turn it down. But if not, I'm giving you the warning now. So let's see how this person acted over Overwatch.
Seems legit.
Why you're peeking that?
I'm not dude. Okay, okay.
There, dude.
Oh, wow! You're actually gonna say that!
Now you have my attention.
You walked out.
Nigger, 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 big black nigger, big black nigger, big black fucking fat nigger, big black nigger, nigger, nigger. I'm peeking someone who's not even in invisibility, okay?
I thought we were past this by now. In our community, in the industry, but of course not. We've seen so much racism in between. Now, when it comes to this type of person who's doing this, I've dealt with these type of people online before, especially when I used to play Rainbow Six online. Not just the fact, it's not the content that he's actually saying, as opposed to he's trying to grieve you and he's trying to, he says it over and over, to verbally crush you from saying anything. That's what it is. So if he just keeps saying it repeatedly, you don't get a word in edgewise, and it's just, you just have to accept it. Now, of course, this is not just racist. This is more of blatant immaturity. Now, of course, people just try to say, oh, you just had a bad day. I'm not trying to hear that shit. We all have bad days, but that's not, no. I've had a bad day. I've never done that. I've had horrible days. I've had horrible things happen to me. Never resorted to acting that way. So, you have to understand, and I'm not talking playing a video game, horrible happened to him. I'm talking about real life. You know what I mean? And never have I acted that way. So there's no excuse for him to act this way. And since this has happened, he is done. His career is done. He's quit. He wants to apologize, but that apology's out the window, bruh. It's done. You're done. It's over. Now, maybe later in a year or two, he's probably going to resurface or whatever, but that alone was enough to kill anything. Anytime. And I've noticed a lot with the gaming community, especially in this generation of gaming, you can act this way and then come back and people will still embrace you. They will say, you deserve a second chance. That's what they'll say. I mean, did we not see with Ares not too long ago when it came to, was it with Street Fighter? People jumped all over him. Even I jumped all over him. And he's still back. He's commentating, isn't he? All right, then. People will always give you a second chance. Do I feel as though it should happen? No, I think that guy should be done. Forever. Done. Look at the Madden champ just not too long ago. We just talked about that. Where he was just saying that, nigger this, nigger this, nigger this. And EA only fined him, what, $3,000? Still went home with the title. He didn't take anything away from him. So as far as I'm concerned, it seems like the community, not the community, well, some of the community is okay with it, but I think that the industry is quite okay with it. I think it's a bigger representation of the industry not doing what they need to do. Of course, the E-League or the Esports, whatever, they took the right steps because that is a wildly extreme case. But you usually don't see those type of cases. There's actually other things and situations that could be just as bad, and they'll still give it a pass. They'll give a person a warning. That one is just completely unacceptable. But it's sad that we're still at this point. Other people just posted not too long ago on Xbox Live. I believe they're playing Call of Duty. And the guy shot the person. The kid was like, fucking nigger. It seems like it's never going to end. And of course, it's something you just got to deal with. Because I'm not trying to hear that people need fucking safe spaces. This is something you have to do. When people start acting that way, you know what you do? You get the best of them. You kill him with kindness, or you make some sarcastic jokes, and then what you do is you beat him in the game. Because he's angry in the game. That's why he's acting this way. So get to him at the game to get him even more angry. But that was enough to shut him down. Period. Especially in this age where everything's being recorded. Shall we move on? Let's move on. A game that actually should be esports, if you ask me. For those who don't know. Major Nintendo policy change helped save Bomberman. And yes, I feel as though Bomberman should be a widely accepted esport. I really feel it should be. It takes, especially for those who play on the highest difficulty and the highest speed and all that, it's a great show to watch. I remember doing this back in the day when we were holding tournaments for Bomberman on the Super Nintendo. And it was just a great thing to play. It was so fucking fun. So fun. I didn't understand why they didn't make it bigger in the tournament scene. But Nintendo, in this day and age, you have a chance to bring it to the esports. I know everyone's so focused on Splatoon and ARMS and all. You have a chance to take Bomberman and do something great with it and run with it. You do. But we'll see. In more news, DOTA. That's right. DOTA 2 will now require phone numbers to play in ranked matches. That's right. You will now be required your phone number. Now, I've seen a lot of people that are mad about this. I've seen a lot of people who are also, accepting of this. We shall see what happens. I would rather leave that for you guys and girls in the chat. To see how you feel about it. Of course, the link will be in the info bar for you as well. Of course, all this information will be, But let's move on. In more news, Overwatch tiebreaker rule will be changed to curb unfair advantage. I've seen a lot of people cheer this, and a lot of people are saying, this is bullshit. Again, I will leave that to you in the chat, because there's so many varying opinions on this. It's almost hard to gauge on how I feel about it. The tiebreaker, look, I enjoy Overwatch. I love watching Overwatch and the way people play for fun. You know what I mean? Not from a competitive standpoint. No matter if you win or lose, I'm entertained because it was fun to watch. You know what I mean? I don't give a shit who's winning or losing. And I feel as though that's the difference between myself, who's watching, as opposed to people who are just so gung-ho to win. There's a difference. If you're playing competitively, I can definitely understand if you have a gripe with it. I can understand. You know what I mean? Or if you don't, I understand that as well. But from a person from the outside looking in and watching and spectating, I feel as though it's one of those things where it's very fun to watch, regardless what happens. Because you know people are going to make mistakes. You know people are going to die. You know teammates are going to abandon you. You know that, something may happen. You may do something stupid, and, it's on you. But it's great to see. And I love watching it. You know what I mean? So, let's move on, shall we? And some horror news. Capcom again. For those who don't know, Resident Evil 7, that's right, the free DLC, Not a Hero, that's supposed to be with Chris Redfield, has now been delayed. It has been delayed. Capcom has apologized and said, we are going to try and bring you more add-on content. They never said if it was free or not, but more add-on content. That's what they're trying to polish up the DLC. We shall see what happens, all right? Because if that DLC looks like shit, then people will say, this is polished? This is polished? Like, that's what you're going to see. Just letting you know. But the link will be in the info bar for you with the message, the video that Capcom, the developers, has sent the fans. That's right. So, let's move on. And more horror news. It's a rumor. Alien Isolation 2 is being worked on. That's right. Now look, Alien Isolation 1, I actually haven't finished it yet. But for what I played, I'm enjoying it. That's what you want from survival horror, okay? So yes, if they're making another one, I would clearly support it, all right? It has a great atmosphere. There's some times where it gets boring and you're like, oh. But also, if you engulf yourself in that situation, even though the dead times, you're like, wait a minute, it's a little too quiet. I think something's up. And because it's first person, you know what I mean? If you go into a corridor and you're trying to do something, it's like, wait a minute, I heard something, but now I got to strafe all the way around, turn around to see what's going on. Hey, it could be an alien right in front of you, like, what's up? You know what I mean? Like, so you got to be very careful in the game. So, yeah, by all means, I would definitely support an Alien Isolation 2. I think it's something that's one of those franchises that's being slept on, and eventually, if people catch on enough, it will catapult, it will get bigger. And I say that because if you looked at Demon's Souls when it first came out, it was great, but it was still like underground for a bit. And then people started catching on, and then just took off. And now, as you know, Demon's Souls or Dark Souls or whatever the hell you want to call it now, has ended. We're seeing a number of games from other publishers do the same type of thing, but just in their narrative. So as far as I'm concerned, they put the groundwork out there, the blueprint, and people are taking it and running it. And I'm proud to see that. Let's move on, shall we? And this is where I get a little mad. Friday the 13th, okay? As you know, I am a huge Friday the 13th fan. We always talk about Friday the 13th. I'm a huge fan of Jason Voorhees. Hell, I even follow Jason Voorhees on Twitter. It goes to show you that I'm a huge fan, all right? So I'm going to be very critical of this game, all right, when it comes out. For what I've seen so far from the trailers, whatever, it does look awesome. I didn't get a chance to get into the inside beta, which I was very upset about, but it's fine. You know what I mean? However, here's the bad news when it comes to Friday the 13th game, okay? And this is pissing me off. The game will be coming out in May, which you feel, hey, May, that's great. It's spring or close to summer. This is really usually when the counselors go to Camp Crystal Lake or whatever to go and have sex and have drugs, and Jason don't like that shit. But this is the time, so it makes sense. It would have been better if you released it on Friday the 13th, but we understand why you can't do that, okay? Now, with that said, single-player mode will be coming at a later date. Really? Are we really going here? Seriously, are we really? You've got to be kidding me. that you were going to release a game and then say, don't worry, we'll give you single player later. So you're half-assing a game. That's what you're doing. Are you serious? I understand that the online mode and its modes and all that other stuff and all that, all that great shit, I get it. You know what I mean? It's one of those things where it's like you want people to play, as the counselors against Jason. Yeah, that's fine. That's all dandy. But no single player mode? Are you at least going to have a tutorial? I mean, what's going on here? To me, you're paying for a half-ass game right now. That's what it feels like. And as much as I really want to play Friday the 13th, I may have to stay away from it because of this for a bit. You know what I mean? Until someone else buys it and says, you know what? This game has enough content to hold you over until single player, and it's great. I don't want to hear this is going to turn into a fucking Evolve, and then what happens? Nobody plays the game. And then it's dead in the fucking water. That I do not want to see, and I'm not going to spend my money on that, when something like that happens. Get online, ain't no one to fuck online. They ain't having that shit. But there's more. And it seems like more games are doing this as well. Alright? Sniper Ghost Warrior 3 launches with no multiplayer. So this is the opposite. So we get the single player, but you're not going to give us the multiplayer till fucking later. So you want us to pay for the fucking product without the entire thing. Knowing that multiplayer is a big component in gaming these days. I don't get it. Okay. But there's more. And here's the thing, because now that we're talking about single player, now we have to talk about what's wrong with Sniper Ghost Warrior 3. Alright? Single player. Sniper Ghost Warrior 3 takes 5 minutes to load on the PS4. That's right. 5 minutes. Now, for a guy like myself, old school, we're used to installing shit or whatever. 5 minutes isn't that big of a deal. Oh, it's going to load for 5 minutes? I'm going to go and go get me a beer, and go get me something to drink, or something to eat, or do something else, a chore around the house till it's ready. You know what I mean? Maybe I can go clean, a room real quick or something, or wipe down a window or something. Do something productive in your own house so to keep you busy until the game's running, right? Or I guess if some of you want to get on the internet and talk until it's done. Either or, it takes 5 minutes. Now, the complaints have come down from fans, and the developers have responded and pretty much telling you, deal with it. Because what they feel as though they would rather you sit and wait for 5 minutes during that game because it takes less time to load during the rest of your single player mode. So it's less loading times if you if you just take the 5 minutes to to load the game that much. That's their excuse. All right, that's what they're saying, and they're not saying they're going to change it. So, like I said, deal with it. That's what they're telling you to do. Okay. And more news. Oh, we got some good news. Sonic. Like Sonic. Yeah, let's talk about it. Sonic Time Twisted. That's right. This is a fan-made game, right? Released after 12 years of development. Old school Sonic game. For those who are interested, I'll put the link in the info bar. It takes you to the download so that you can play this game. Okay? And more Sonic news. Sonic Forces shows off classic gameplay. Now, of course the media is raging about this right now. But there's one particular media outlet, of course, that I don't like, and we've talked about this. Fucking Engadget. Yeah. Alright? Apparently, they're saying that this game feels like Sonic Generations. And don't get me wrong, when they're comparing it to Sonic Generations, there's a lot of people out there who didn't have a problem with Sonic Generations. So we will see what happens. However, like I said, if this is not near Sonic Generations, you know who to blame. Okay? Engadget, alright? Just to let you know. So, let's move on, shall we? So, Saints Row 2. I know people say, Saints Row 2. Saints Row 2, listen. Grab Saints Row 2 for free now. That's right. It's for free on Steam and GOG for a limited time. So it's free. So if you haven't played Saints Row 2, or you just want another version of Saints Row 2, just on your PC or whatever, it is now free for a limited time. By all means, please, go get Saints Row 2 if you haven't played it. It is a hilarious game. Hilarious. Okay? Let's move on. Bayonetta. My bae. Bayonetta. Yeah. So, Bayonetta. As we know, Bayonetta has come over to PC. Fans are excited, and they can't compose themselves. But there's more. That's right. Bayonetta PC update blatantly teases Vanquish for a PC port. So Vanquish is coming to the PC. I know a lot of people are already happy, but I have even better news for you. That's right. Because everyone's saying, Vanquish, Vanquish, Vanquish. Guess what you're getting ready to get? Or so, what we're being teased so far. Bayonetta 3. That's right. Bayonetta 3 is being teased. Apparently on their site, they're doing a lot of things with Bayonetta to try and get you to decipher. I will put the link in the info bar for you so you can see it. I would list it as a rumor right now, but given the fact of what Platinum is doing, I think they're setting up for something big for Bayo. And you know what? They should. Because Bayonetta 2 was great. Bayonetta 1 was great. And I love the fact that you can keep going on with this series. No matter how much the SJW media wants to slander Bayo, you can't keep Bay down. You just can't. Alright? Let's move on. Bamco. That's right. For those who don't know, in more news, good news. Bamco announces Code Vein and will be released in 2018. Now, Code Vein, for those who don't know, is a vampire RPG. Listen, link will be in the info bar for you. The screenshots, of course, they're only screenshots. God knows how much they've been doctored. But the screenshots look phenomenal. And this looks like the type of game I would play. Definitely. Like I said, I would play. Not telling you to buy it. I would play. This is one of those games that would just, it's that the atmosphere that they're showing, a completely type of different world experience. I would, yeah, definitely on this. Like I said, Japanese developers have just come out just swinging. They batting 1,000 right now as far as I'm concerned with these games, especially for PS4. And, hey, I'm not even mad. I'm not. But that's all the news I have today. Understand, people, that my final thoughts. You have to understand that this week has been pretty bad. Not as bad as you think, because I gave you a lot of good news if you think about it. But when it comes to fans being duped because of simple cinematic trailers, it's the fucking cinematic trailer. It's not the fucking gameplay. Now that we've seen the gameplay, we're just like, ugh. But the fact is, fanboys, again, kill everything. And then on top of this, you have other guys who they want so bad to be booed. And it's like, no, won't you understand? If you know wrestling, you have to work for that heat. You know what I mean? Oh, I just want to be booed. If that's the biggest problem you have, that ain't shit. You ain't been through shit. I just want to be booed. I want to be a bad guy. You couldn't even be alpha the way you were talking. If you want to be a bad guy, set it up. Apparently, also, what we heard was this guy Punk and Sonic Fox tried to work something where it was like a fake angle of beef. We've seen this before, did we not? Remember that video when they were caught recording this? Because it was supposed to be a secret because they were trying to stage rigged beef and people did not like that shit. So why did all of a sudden them pulling this is okay? Are we all of a sudden just embracing wrestling? Is that what we're doing now? I'm not trying to hear because the E-League is bringing in Eva Marie and all this other bullshit. If we're embracing wrestling now, which is scripted, then I guess now we should start talking about bringing back collusion. No, you don't like that, huh? Don't like that, yeah. Because, I mean, if you want to go full wrestling, oh, no. We just want to take bits and pieces of wrestling. No, man. You can't just take what you want and then say run with it. Just like people, you can't act how you want and think there's not going to be any consequences. Where do you people get this shit? I don't get it. I don't. As far as I'm concerned, this week wasn't too bad. Developers, fuck it up. Gamers, not all gamers fuck it up. And that's the thing. When you start to see these videos or these articles of people complaining about not being booed or guys yelling nigger, of course that doesn't represent the entire community. However, I feel as though this community, we should be bigger than this by now, shouldn't we? I don't understand it. But yet we still dedicate articles to specific players for them to bitch and moan about pretty much nothing. We dedicate articles to people who just spew so much hate, but yet we still put them on a pedestal, and I don't understand why we still do that. No matter what is said, positive or negative, I forgot, positive things don't matter. They don't mean shit here. What matters is negativity, because that's what people want, because it brings drama, it brings controversy, so they gravitate towards more of that dumb shit as opposed to saying, hey, look, man, we just here to have fun. We here to play games. We here, you still be competitive, still be fun and be competitive. But people don't understand that, it seems. No, they gotta act like a fucking idiot for some reason. So yeah, you want heat? Earn it. How about that? Earn it. Give me this shit. I don't want to be with the boomy. I feel so bad. Sound like fucking Festus from when he was in WWE. Bunch of bullshit. Look, the fact is, people, I've said it before, play your games, play with your friends, have fun, get online, meet new people, all that type of stuff. It's all good. You can also go to locals, go to conventions, stuff like that. It's all good. The things that you see so much on YouTube where people are popping off and stuff like that, you don't see that shit at locals. You don't. You don't see it at conventions no. Like I said, when I was there, like I said, at, Wogan, Justin Wong, K. Brad, was it Noel Brown? All these people there. No problems. No problems. No one's upset. No one's mad. Everyone's playing. Everyone's laughing and having a good time. So when you see that bullshit, you best be damn well it is scripted. And don't tell me it's like, well, the rivalry was real. If the rivalry was fucking real, motherfuckers would have been dealt with. It's not. It's the difference between having a rivalry video game-wise. I have a number of rivals. You know what I mean, that I play. And I mean hardcore rivalry. Like, no, I'm going to kick you. I'll get on the phone. I'm going to kick your ass. Notice I said phone. Because guess what? I can still be friends with them. That's the difference. We can talk shit all day. We're still friends at the end of the day. I've never understood where rivalry turns to hate as opposed to rivalry turns into respect and, hey, we can get along. And still put out some serious work for everyone to see. I don't get that. And then everyone turns around, well, it's fake, it's fake. Well, no one told you to act like something you're not. Be yourself. That's the problem. Why can't people be themselves? Be yourself. And if you don't have it, well, then you don't have it. That's a problem you got to deal with. That's something you need to accept. But no, you got to make up a fucking character or a gimmick if you haven't realized the entire point of the mock today. It's pathetic. Notice when I get on these guys, it's never about their gaming skills. No, not at all. It's always about their attitude. Anyways, I'm done. I will talk to y'all later. Next time, I'm sure I'll have a lot more information. Hopefully, even better information. And I'm hoping today that you've learned something. Seriously. It's not just riding on people, even though they fucking deserve it. But I'm hoping that you learned something. That's why those links are in that info bar. That's why I put that video from Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite in there. Especially if you're fans of it, you'll be able to decipher that shit real quick, the way those combos are working, auto combo and all that other bullshit. You'll see it. This is something that you're not getting from other guys that you fucking praise so fucking much. Getting hundreds of thousands of views, millions of views, just to say, oh my god, I love it! It's bullshit. They're not even trying to dig into shit. I don't know, man. I'll talk to y'all later. Y'all be safe. Until next time, I'm out.